Meat, something that is loved, consumed, and enjoyed by millions of people with no remorse. What would Thanksgiving be without a turkey? What would Christmas be without a ham? What would 4th of July be without burgers and hot dogs? You might hear these questions and laugh. But what if I asked you if you knew about how the production and consumption of meat is a leading cause of greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere? What if I asked you if you knew about how the consumption of red or overly processed meat could cause life-threatening diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and even certain kinds of cancers? At the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't eat, but I would like to inform you about what is going out to our earth and into our stomachs. If society could contribute to cutting down the consumption of meat, it would not only benefit the environment, but also one's health. At first, it may be difficult to figure out how meat production has anything to do with the environment. But after hearing this speech, you will understand that the production of meat requires usage of pesticides, water, fertilizer, and fuel, which is responsible for the release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Let's start with the fields that are dedicated to raising and feeding livestock. Converting natural habitats to agricultural fields requires millions of acres to be plowed down, releasing tons upon tons of carbon pollution into the atmosphere. Then comes manure. If it's not being spread onto fields, chances are it's being stored in open lagoons that are susceptible to overflow during flooding or leakage due to faults, which releases harmful substances like antibiotics, bacteria, pesticides, and heavy metals into the surrounding environment. As the manure decomposes, it releases emissions including methane, ammonia, and carbon dioxide, into the environment, which contribute to climate change according to Clean Water Action. What about livestock themselves? When a cow burps, it releases methane into the environment. Imagine how much methane is being released into the atmosphere due to the millions of cows being bred solely to be consumed by humans. There is no aspect of meat production that is environmentally friendly. If people were to stop buying meat from the store, a good amount of production plants would go out of business, less cows would be bred for food, less land would be plowed for cattle ranches, and there would be 14 to 18% less greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere. For some people, learning about how meat production destroys the environment doesn't change the way they feel about eating meat. But do those people know that the consumption of red or overly processed meats is proven to be a cause of several illnesses such as diabetes, heart disease, and certain cancers? A lot of people tend to look past the negative health effects of meat because they have seen it as a good source of protein in the past. While that is true, Harvard Health found consistent evidence across multiple studies that there is a, quote, clear link between high intake of red and processed meats and a higher risk for heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and premature death, end quote. The reason these types of meats have such negative health effects is because meat that is processed contains high amounts of chemicals and additives, which contributes to health risks such as heart disease and colon cancer. While red or overly processed meats might not be the best choice for your next meal, substitutes like fish, poultry, eggs, or plant-based items might be a great place to start. Like I said earlier, I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't eat. That is your choice to make. One thing I wish I knew growing up was how harmful red meat could be to me and the environment. Once provided with that information, I chose to do away with red meat because I care about the environment and my health. I wanted to give all of you the same opportunity that I had to learn about the impact of meat on our lives. Now that you're provided with this information, it's your choice to do what you will with it. Thank you.